So, something big is happening in my local community with e-bikes and electric vehicles, and basically, I'm just gonna address the issue instantly. My local township has decided that e-bikes are not allowed as of July 22nd, which is when this law was passed by the board. E-bikes have been completely banned. I don't exactly know why, and keep in mind, this is regarding e-bikes and not e-motos, which if you don't know what an e-moto is, it's essentially an e-bike without pedals, and it's going faster than 28 miles an hour, and it has more than a 750 watt motor, which that qualifies it as an e-moto, which you have to be 16 years old or older, and you have to have a motorcycle license. And but they even banned standard pedal assist e-bikes. Why I think this is stupid, just because you can kind of think about it, like most people can pedal at 20 miles an hour on a standard bicycle, and while they may be thinking of, like, I don't know, something different like a motorcycle, it doesn't really make sense for a e-bike, just because it's inherently gonna be quiet, because it's, electric as an E. But clearly the lawmakers do not actually know what classifies as an e-motorcycle, and it seems I'm not like some kind of expert or something, but I think this is pretty stupid, honestly. I think I really do think these kinds of things should uh have more community control, which really it seems they don't, and I don't think they actually know anything about what an e-bike is, which I do agree it is pretty crappy for those kids to be riding on roads doing those tricks that are honestly really dangerous. And those e-motos, which are often labeled as e-bikes, are genuinely dangerous, and I think you should wait till you're like 14 to ride them. But I think for a standard e-bike that has pedal assist, doesn't have a 750 watt motor or higher, and only goes 28 miles an hour with fully operating pedals, I honestly think this is a stupid law. I think this should be appealed, and I know about 3 guys with e-bikes, like actual e-bikes, and I don't actually think they know about this because they still use them, but apparently, there's up to $1,000 fine now if you're caught liable with an e-moto, or an e-bike. I mean, an e-bike. I get them confused because they sound really similar. But yeah, I really hope this doesn't happen to everyone's town. But yeah, I guess I live in like a crappy town for uh electric vehicles. But yeah, I really think this is a crappy law. I know I've probably said that a million times by now, but yeah, this really shouldn't be a thing. I don't exactly know why they passed this. But yeah, I really hope that this law will be lifted, and I really think it should be, and I think they should reappeal into it, because that's not at all what an e-bike is. An e-bike is generally safe, especially if it's class 2 or class 1. But clearly these lawmakers have no clue what an actual e-bike really is. It just seems that a lot of the police department is hating just because there's some idiot kids that decide to do crazy wheelies and then fronties, and then decide to run in front of cars that every single person on a motorized bike is considered a liability, which I don't even have an e-bike, so I guess I don't understand the e-bike community either. But I do know friends with e-bikes, and I don't like it. Just sucks to imagine that you're at risk of having your bike impounded for almost nothing. Like, and everywhere else in like the downtown of my city, it's fully legal to have a standard e-bike, but here they decided that it's too disturbing. Which, yes, we do have a local creek with wildlife, but I honestly think that there are so many motorcycle riders that are much more disturbing. I think they just group in e-bikes with motorcycles, and like every single vehicle with harmful, like bad vehicles like ATVs, which do genuinely disturb the wildlife. And I guess they just see them as all the same, even though really they're not. But that's the new crappy law to where I live that really is not good. I think uh, I think this is just honestly really stupid that they would even consider that this is the new great law. But I I guess that's just what they decided to do now. I guess there's nothing I can really do about it. But um, yeah. So if you kind of live in a place where e-bikes are illegal, I'm not telling you to not follow your local laws, but I just think it's stupid. So honestly, I don't think police will really care though if you do ride it. But um, this that don't break your local township's laws or local area's laws. Do not do that. But that's the horrible situation regarding my area with e-bikes. So yeah, essentially, that's what's happening in my area. I'd recommend that you file a complaint and ask for at least if you live in an area with where e-bikes are illegal. I'd recommend you to always try and file a complaint with the city, although of course usually they go nowhere. But you never know if you can get like a valid complaint on the board, and they could try and address it, because they actually did address it in early July, and then they decided to pass it and say that all e-bikes are illegal where I live. So yeah, that really is unfortunate, and it's kind of a bad thought to think of that friends that I know could have their bikes randomly pretty much stolen legally by the police at any time without anything done, and technically they're breaking the law. So yeah, that is just insane. I don't know who in the right mind would think to pass that law, but yeah, I guess it had to come down to that. But yeah, anyways, thanks for watching.